Hi there. So I have been getting a lot of questions about clients that are looking for more in-depth resources about my map book. So if you don't know what a map book is, it is my make a plan notebook system that I swear by. All you need is a composition notebook to hit the ground running, and I promise you, you will go from feeling overwhelmed to organized in an hour or less. It's truly magical. If you are new to the MapBook system, I have a link in the video description, so feel free to check that out. You can download for free the setup guide that will get you rocking and rolling. And today I'm really going to zoom in on my weekly planning. So I'm trying to do more videos like this. I hope it's helpful for you to really just see behind the curtain. I am not filtering anything. I'm not censoring anything. You're going to see my actual true week. And I hope it helps as you start to plan your own week. So I typically plan for the upcoming week. I usually do that, try to do it on Friday afternoon. The reason for that is a few things. My weekly planning usually has a lot to do with work for the following week. So on Friday afternoon, I still have all the work stuff in my head. By Sunday, a lot of that work stuff has sort of glossed over. And honestly, there's nothing worse for me as a solopreneur to sit down Monday morning and be like, okay, what do I have to do this week? It's just overwhelming. And I often find those weeks are just not productive because I missed, all the priorities that I had in my head on Friday afternoon. They're just sort of gone on Monday morning. So I'm going to share with you what my actual weekly plan looks like. So I open to the next spread in my notebook, and I get more into this in the notebook setup guide. So you can check that out if you want more details. But this is the week of March 20th for me. So this is absolutely customizable. You may want to start here if this is inspiring for you and just try it and see what you like, see what you don't like, and you can make changes as necessary. But I'm just going to walk you through what I do, and you can take what you want and leave what you don't. So the first thing that I do, and this is sort of a newer practice for me, is I write down two things that matter that week. This is hard. Things that matter across all contexts. So family, either one of my businesses, literally anything. So I really pause and ask myself, okay, what are the two most important things that matter for next week? For this week, it is that my content calendar is prepared for quarter 2 and that I am ready for a fun, busy weekend, which means that I have sort of my work all buttoned up, that I stay on top of things so that there's not a lot of overflow because I have no time to work this weekend. It's a family first weekend for sure. Each week, I also write down my workout and my lunch. This is repetitive, and honestly, it's said this for pretty much all of 2023, what you see here, but I strongly feel that just holding myself accountable is what I need to make sure my workouts happen and my healthy lunch happens. So this week, I'm going to be taking my Peloton rides. I do that 5 days a week. And then I do a 10-minute core program or a 10-minute arms program every day. I also walk at lunch, but that's just a habit, a routine, so I don't write that down. And then for lunch, I'm going to alternate between having a salad and having my Shakeology. And then this is where things get really deep, and I work with my one-on-one clients to develop this action plan. But I have a clearly defined 3-year vision for myself, where I want to be in 3 years, and then I back it up to what I want to be working on now to get to that 3-year vision. So my first area that I focus on is my work-life balance. For this week, in order to help achieve that, I talked about this in a previous video, but we're in the middle of a kitchen renovation. So there has been just a lot of kind of chaos in my house, a lot of dust and craziness. So tackling one room a day is my goal this week, just to feel more balanced at home. And that's kind of what my focus is going to be. For my mindset, which is another area that I focus my 3-year vision on, I have a book that I'm going to be reading. It's called Lucky Bitch by Denise Duffield Thomas. It's about manifestation and abundance mindset and all the things that I need. For my personal growth plan this year, I'm working on developing a millionaire mindset. So that's helping me to do that. So that's going to be my focus for my mindset work this week. For my thriving business, I have two businesses. I have a photography business and I have a coaching business. So in my photography business, my goal and my focus for this week is to launch my spring and summer mini sessions. For financial freedom, that's a huge aspect of my personal growth plan. I'm going to be working on a new lead magnet for my coaching clients to bring in hopefully new clients and to be able to share value with other busy moms. So that looks like a quiz, and I'm going to start working on the funnel for that. And then finally, in my coaching business where I'm empowering moms, I am focused on my content calendar. So you'll notice that you've seen content calendar twice already this week, and that's great, right? That means that I am highlighting that it matters, but then I'm also following it up with action steps. So my 3-year vision is kind of just keeping me on the right track, giving me focus for the week, and what action steps that I need to take to start moving towards that 3-year vision every single day, because I know I'm not going to just wake up in 3 years and be where I want to be. I have to work towards it every day and every week. So you'll see from here that I break up into different categories. We're going to focus on the left-hand page still right now, finish that up before we jump over to the businesses. But you'll see that this section is labeled personal. So this is anything that has to do with just Sharon, or with my family, I should say too. So really just my personal life has very little to do with business. I have 3 habits that I am working on right now during this week. I am still using my sun lamp every day. It's March in New England, so we're getting more sunshine, but it's not super consistent yet. So every day that I do it, I cross off a number, and that's how I track my sun lamp habit. I am working on writing 3 times a week. And as you can see, I haven't done it yet this week, but it is there so that hopefully I get those 3 writing sessions accomplished. And then it says anthem, but that's my abundance anthem. I have talked about this in a previous episode about John Acuff's book, Soundtracks, and changing your mindset and building up your mindset comes from really self-talk. And so literally every day I stand in front of a mirror and I read my abundance anthem to myself, which is trying to overcome some of my sort of money blocks and opportunity blocks and things like that. So that's another one of my habits that I want to do every day. And then I have a few things that I am working on personally. We have a family photo shoot coming up, so I need to start shopping for shoes. I'm meeting with a content editor this week for my book, and I want to edit 50 pages of my book. I went through, read every single page when I was in Florida, and now it's time to kind of incorporate some of the edits that I made while I was there. So this looks like a lot. In fairness, it took me a while to talk through everything. So it takes me probably 5 minutes at this point to go through. In the beginning, it probably took more like 10 or 15 while I was still figuring out what I wanted to focus on each week. But that gives you an idea sort of like my overarching things for the week. And now let's zoom in on to the right-hand side of the spread. So this is where I focus on my businesses. In the past, I feel like I've done it all. I was a full-time teacher. I was a part-time teacher. I ran a home daycare during COVID, and oh my goodness, all the things. So this page has changed in the past. For a while, I was just doing my photography business. Depending on what your life looks like, these may be different categories. If you're a stay-at-home mom or a homeschool mom, that may be what you have on these pages. For me, it's my 2 businesses. So SLP is Sharon Leger Photography, and I stop and ask myself what needs to be done in all of these different categories in my photography business. What needs to be done this week? What specific actions? And then what do I want to accomplish are kind of the questions that I ask myself each week. This gets pretty repetitive. You can see some things on here like Pinterest workflow and update Instagram and social media, like those things I do every week. My editing queue changes every week depending on the sessions. So I just make sure that I have sort of the things that have to happen in here on sort of my weekly menu. And then for my coaching business, I have the same thing. Ask myself the same questions. What needs to be done this week? What do I want to accomplish? You'll see some overlaps again. I've got the drafting of the quiz there, which you had seen on the previous page, the quiz funnel, like all of those things. So these things come up again and again, but that is okay because it's what is going to help you plan your week. So I'm just going to go back so that you can see the spread of both pages for a second. And I want to just point out the mindset you really want to have with this process is that you're creating a menu so that each day on Monday, when I go to set up my daily page, I'm turning to this page and I'm saying, okay, what can I tackle today? Like, what are my priorities and what needs to happen? That way, by the time I get to Friday, these things are crossed off the list, like they're done. And I have all of those priorities sort of handled. So if you're feeling overwhelmed, just know, like, think of it as a menu. And if you don't get to everything, the cool thing about the map book is you can just move it forward to the next week as you progress through your month. So I challenge you this week to ask yourself, what is one area that I really want to focus on this week? And challenge yourself to set up a weekly page. Maybe just experiment with it and just, you can set it up exactly like mine this week and then make tweaks next week. And try to set aside some time in your calendar to actually tackle it in the time that makes the most sense for you. A lot of my one-on-one clients do this on Sunday night, which is also a great time to do it. I can't do mine on Sunday night because then I'll lay in bed all of Sunday night, like starting to do the to-do list in my head. It's awful. So I avoid doing that. But if that works for you, you absolutely, that is a great time to get it done. So if you are new here and are not yet in my Facebook group, I would love for you to join. You can search Sharon Leger Coaching on Facebook. This is a group of like-minded mamas, and I share things like free coaching and resources and updates about my book and all sorts of things in that group. I would absolutely love to have you join us there. And that's it for today's episode. So I hope this was helpful for you. If you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comments. If you liked this episode, I would love it if you would go ahead and click the thumbs up, and you can subscribe to make sure that you don't miss future episodes from me. Thanks so much, Mama. Have a great day. Bye.